up, Buddy Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Video Game Nerdigan E3 discussion is going to be on the only game that I'm buying for my PC, and probably the first game I have gotten for my PC since Windows 98, and I think that game was Putt Putt Saves the Zoo, and I'm so excited because this developer is near and dear to my heart because I grew up with them. They made games for the first system I ever got, which is the Nintendo 64. Like, they made Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye 0, and Perfect Dark, which was the last FPS games that shooters I could play. And the Banjo-Kazooie series, and I did get to play Conker's Bad Fur Day. I don't remember why. Which is rare, which I know they're watching this video, and I'm so sorry it took so long to do this, because I was running a stream all day yesterday. And that would be for Sea of Thieves for the PC and Xbox One. Obviously, I'm getting it on PC, because I can't do the Xbox One controllers. I tried on 360, the controller felt weird. I tried on Xbox, the controller felt weird. And here, Mini Popo, which is Windows 10 tablet, and I'm shooting this Popo, which is an Windows 10 PC. Look at the picture of Sea of Thieves. Oh my god, I can't wait for this game. Let me give you a background for Sea of Thieves for me. So, last year, at last year's E3, I was watching the Microsoft conference, and I was like, wow, Microsoft is really stepping up their game. And then they said Rare was coming out with a new game. And I was like, oh, Rare's coming out with a new game? And then I saw Sea of Thieves, and I was like, no Kinect? Because Rare, I'm sorry, you guys got screwed with Kinect. Microsoft was screwing you over. Now, they gave you freedom. They gave you creative freedom. They did. And by the way, I got a request from someone that I was in a stream with yesterday on Twitch, and they said they would like to do Conker's Bad Fur Day. They want a sequel. Please get on that. They really would. Just make it for PC and well, you can make it for Xbox One if you want, but please make it for PC at least. Anyway, so from what I understand, it's going to be a first-person gameplay. Please make it third-person too. I would love it because I like looking at the characters in third person, and plus there's a lot of gamers out there that can't handle first-person because of motion sickness. I know a lot of people like that, but for me personally, I like third-person because I like with Banjo-Kazooie as a good example. I like looking at the characters, and it's personally a lot easier for me for third person, but again, there's the motion sickness thing. So anyway, it's cool that it features, from what I understand, it features user-generated content in which the players have the ability to craft their custom stories by using in-game tools, and the game will have co-op gameplay and is set in an open world multiplayer environment. And for the demo that they showed multiplayer, which was pretty cool, where the players were going like swimming and climbing onto the ship. And one of the things I thought was really funny, and one of the people from IGN was talking about too, was when one of the pirates was getting drunk from rum. And when you drank the rum, like you had to play drunk. I thought that shit was funny. I could only imagine playing in third person and just being drunk. That would be so freaking hilarious. I would love to do that. And by the way, this game is coming out in 2016, so I'm really happy about that. And yeah, and you could crash into rocks and stuff like that too. So yeah, and from what the person at IGN was saying, that where are you? That the Rare director, Greg Mails, was saying that they haven't settled on a final max number for your group just yet. For in the demo, it was 5, so I'm curious how they're gonna do a, a more than 5. I'm really curious about that. But I really can't wait to see how they're going to do single player mode. What I kind of would love to see personally is, because I'm an anime nerd, a nerdigan slash manga nerdigan, I kind of would love to see if Rare would take elements from One Piece, the anime slash anime and manga, and because if you haven't watched One Piece, people at Rare, One Piece is a pirate anime and and manga, and it is so freaking funny. Well, the main character Luffy's trying to become the pirate king by finding the One Piece, which is a bunch of treasure. But One Piece is so funny. There's a lot of comedy in there. Yeah, there's a lot of seriousness in there too. But what I'm thinking is, what you could do is take some of the comedy aspects from One Piece and put it into Sea of Thieves, and hell, even like if you could put pirate classes in there, that'd be really cool. The other thing that I'm wondering if you would do for, at least for the single player campaign, is, I don't know, maybe in the multiplayer campaign too, is that something that One Piece has is they have the Warlords of the Sea. If you could do something like that, that would be really cool. And another thing would be, because they're being hunted by the world government and they have the Navy, if you have that in there too as the enemy or something similar to that, I think that would be really, really cool. I'd love to have that kind of enemy to face. That, because yeah, especially online, if you have like a huge crew to face that, that'd be really sweet. Anyway, so what you can do with your crew, besides you have this, and they showed this in the demo, what the wait a minute, the gameplay demo, there we go, is that you had to swim to your ship, and you climbed a rope ladder that was on the vessel, and so and the boat had a bunch of interactive elements. So you have three sets of sails, and that can all be raised and lowered and rotated with cannons on both sides. I'm curious if for the boats, and maybe Rare can answer this, because I know they're watching this video and they're waiting for this video to be uploaded. Rare, I'm wondering if in both the multiplayer and the single player campaign mode, is if you get to design the ships themselves. Because if you get to, that would be really cool. Like if you get to go to a shipyard and design it and put like hella cannons on it if you want and all that. And for now, from what IGM was saying, is that Rare was saying you had to load the cannons into the cannonballs into the cannons in the final game. So yeah, it's not automatic like in some games. And this is going to be in the final game. And so basically, at some point, you're going to run out of cannonballs, like in real life, which I think is fair. And then you have the wheel, so you'll have to steer. A crow's nest you can climb into. And I'm curious, Rare, I hope you can answer this. Are you going to have, like a navigator are you going to have a compass at all? Or is it just going to be based on the wind? I'm curious. And also, the crow's nest you can climb into, a plank to walk out onto. You have rum, as I mentioned, you can get drunk. Yeah, rum to idly drink. And I thought this was the most random thing you could have. You have an accordion. I was like, what? Why is there an accordion there? That was so random. And then there's multiple and more stuff. I want to know what else is on there. And then for the air current, and I'd love to know if there's going to be a way to see the sea currents too. It kind of reminds me of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, where you see a subtle white line drawn in the air to give clues to the wind. So that's how you could adjust your sails accordingly to change direction. And another thing IGM was mentioning was you can also drop anchor while in motion to do the pirate ship equivalent of a handbrake turn, which I thought was really cool. And this is how, and yes, you get to battle other ships. So, and yeah, they were manned by their own 5-player crews. And let's see. I'm trying to think. And there are no instructions, so you can't. so the game won't tell you how to shoot. You're on your own, which I think is pretty smart, or which I think is pretty cool, and because it makes the game more challenging. Because a lot of games are pretty easy like that. They'll just tell you how to shoot. They'll tell you how to aim and all that. No, you're on your own. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't tell you where your shot will go if you pull the trigger. So, and like the rest of the game, from what from what IGN was saying, it's up to you to decide. It's up to you to take your speed, direction, and distance and wind into an account when aiming your cannon fire at your foes. And I love that I love it too that you have to think about the physics and all that. You really have to think about it. And this is where I think a lot of people are going to be pissed, but I think a lot of kids are going to be mad. But I think the adult gamers like me are going to love it. And I really hope it does remain in the final game, because I like the challenging stuff like this. And also you got to keep into account, on top of all that, is the waves aren't going to be still. And I'm curious, Rare, are you going to actually have storms in this game? Or like in what they're going to do in, for example, Zelda, the new Zelda game, and which is called Breath of the oh my gosh, I have it right in front of me. Breath of the Wild, and also Final Fantasy 15, they're taking weather and the elements into an account. So I'm curious if you're going to do the same thing, if you're going to have storms involved and like lightning and all that crap, and are you going to have like tidal waves, that kind of thing too, to affect the gameplay as well? That would be freaking cool if you did, because that would make it a little bit harder. Let's see. Because it says here so far that from what they were saying at IGN that was playing it, that the waves were bobbling. And yeah, I think at some point you'll have a calm sea, the sea calm, because that's just how the sea is. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's bumpy, sometimes you get tidal waves. Yeah, so I think that would be really cool to have. Let's see. And another thing is that your ship can only take so many hits before it's sunk. Yeah, you can, I don't know if this is accurate or not, Rare, so hopefully you can answer this. Is if, sorry, I need to take a sip. I gotta pull Marco Rubio here. Let me just take a sip. I don't know if this is accurate or not. Is, do you only have like a limited amount of planks to, patch up your ship? Because yeah, if you get enough cannons or enough hits by cannons in your ship, yeah, you're gonna sink and then be stranded, and yeah, and then basically you're dead. But it's like the way the gameplay looked, from what I saw, how the graphics looked, it looked so much fun, and it looked like Rare. So Rare, I hope you do this. I really hope you when you watch this, I hope you really take that my advice to heart, my considerations into heart, and hopefully you put a third person option into it, so that people that get motion sickness could actually play it. Otherwise, you're gonna isolate a bunch of gamers. Also, please post the specs as soon as possible, so that I know if I need to go get a solid state hard drive. Please that's another problem with PC games lately, is that like games like for example Call of Duty for PC, it totally takes up a ton of memory for the PC. Please make it really easy on PCs. Please don't like take up so much memory on our PCs. That would be really nice. Make it easy on our PCs. And also I would love to, and hopefully if you haven't watched One Piece, or probably watch One Piece, because it might be it's really close to the manga. So if you watch the anime One Piece when you get the chance to see, maybe take some elements from it and get maybe so that way to make it a little bit more interesting. It looks good right now, but I'm just saying to consider the enemies and stuff like that for like the single player. That's what I want to make the single player campaign like even more challenging, that kind of thing. So I hope you take all of that to heart, and hopefully you do some of the things that I suggested. That'd be really, really, really cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Also, anyway, I think that's really it. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, one of my Nerdigans suggested yesterday in my live stream to create an Amazon wish list of the games I want, and of course, Sea of Thieves is on it. And in the description box below, I will be putting the link to my Amazon wish list. And I would love to have a beta of this game because I want to play it, and I can give you even more feedback, Rare. Also, again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you do not want to be a part of my wish list, because I've been getting told by a lot of my Nerdigans they want me to live stream, they want me to do reviews, which I would love to do a review because this will be the first ever review of any PC game ever. And even it will be the first live stream, Let's Plays, and all that. Yeah, if you want to contribute to my Patreon instead, that'd be fine as well. I'll have the link in the description box below. And also, if you want to see more shenanigans that I cause on the internet, follow me on Twitter. That's in the description box below as well. Anyway, Nerdigans, I'm going to be doing more E3 reviews. I'm going to be, I'll explain how it works in the next video game Nerdigan E3 discussion video. Until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later.